Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be picking an Assa Ruko 2. This is actually a Ruko 500. It's a purple belt level lock. Let's break into it. So I purchased this from a friend over the other side of the Atlantic. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Don't know what country he lives in, but these things are awesome. They have really great tolerances. It's just such a great lock. This is a high security lock, and these have what are considered, I think they call them snowman cylinders. They have oval cylinders. So this would be an oval cylinder, and this is the snowman cylinder here. So I think, if I am correct, I think the snowman cylinders are being phased out for the oval ones. I could be wrong. Somebody will yell at me in the comments and tell me exactly what the heck is going on. So this is a Ruko 500. I think this one is sleeved, which means it's a little bit easier. We will talk about that when we get to gutting it. That is the bitting. The bitting is not crazy hard. We have a really high pin here back in pin number 5, then a little bit lower in 4, and a little bit lower in 3, a little bit lower in 2, a little bit lower in 1. It's literally a staircase here. So it says made in Denmark. Maybe that's where I got it, and I'm just an idiot and I failed geography and social studies. So anyways, let's give this guy a try. So there's actually a secret to get into this particular lock. Not all locks are made the same, even though this is a high security lock, purple belt level lock. There is a secret to this. I'm going to first show you what I do wrong, and then I'm going to show you what I do right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be using bottom of the keyway tension here. I'm going to use my covert instruments here in 50 thou, fill up the bottom of the keyway there. And because this highly paracentric keyway there, I really need something to pick off of. I'm not going to get through that paracentricity of that keyway here. I have to pick off of this warding, but sometimes the pick likes to just go plunk and it likes to fall. So there's really no, I really don't need to use top of keyway. I could just use bottom of keyway unless I'm trying to float pick. In that particular case, I would want to do that. So I'm going to use bottom of keyway here. I'm going to be using my short hook here in 20 thou, and I'm going to show you what I do wrong. So typically I'd feel pin number 1, feel pin number 2, feel pin number 3, feel pin number 4, and I'm having a really hard time getting under 4, and there we go. I got a false set there from pin number 4. Let's go back to pin 1 and pin 2, nothing. Got a false set from pin 3, okay. So let's keep going. Let's see if we can get to pin 5. And pin 5 is kind of hard, and I'm at pin 5 and nothing's happening, because remember, we have to set that really high pin 5 here, but I've already set pin 4 and pin 3. So what do? Well, it's because it's so paracentric, I can really only work from the first pin to the back pin, and I'm really not going to get anywhere. I just know I'm not. I've had this lock for a while. I know I'm not going to get anywhere, even though I'm in a minor false set here. It's just not going anywhere. So here's what I'm going to do. We're gonna try something different here. We're going to take this pick. We're going to insert it into the back of the lock here. I'm going to put it right on top of the warding that I want to pick off of. And then I'm going to insert my turning tool at the bottom here. That way I don't have to fight all those pins. And I'm going to set that fifth pin here that sits so high up. I want you guys to watch what happens here. So let me see if I can get to that fifth. Okay, so I'm on pin 5. I'm going to go set pin 5. Watch that. And we have an open. So what just happened, Sandman? That was magic. No, I did not pull a McNally and bypass this lock. Really, what happened is, by inserting my pick into this keyway, I was inadvertently setting the front pins. And all I had to do was lift that rear pin to shear line, because all of these are such low cuts. So if you try to pick a lock, not all locks can you pick from front to back. Some locks you need to pick from back to front. But inadvertently, by just inserting this tool, I had already just set those pins to the shear line. And, you know, it just became an easier lock to pick. So that's an easy purple belt lock under my belt. Let's go ahead and gut this machine. Let me back this camera up so I can keep everything in view while I do a horrible job at gutting this lock, because I'm terrible at gutting. Need to work on that. Yeah, okay. Don't ask me why I did that. if I don't have the right tools on me, it's because I haven't gutted this thing in a long time. I actually picked a Medico Classic and a Multi-Lock Interactive for my purple belt, and then I got this in the mail and was able to pick this. So this isn't one of the locks that I used to get my purple belt. I would have felt like a fraud, because this lock has that little secret there. It's been a while. Bear with me. I don't want this getting bricked. Now then, a lot of these locks that are made overseas, you've just got to use shims with them. It's just the way it is. Use a lot of shims, because these things will brick on you. All right, let's take out these pins first. Key pin 1, key pin 2, key pin 3, key pin 4, key pin 5. All right, and we'll talk about this core here in a little bit. Let me get the top pins. Well, might as well get this in camera if I can. I think it's zoomed in. So we do have a gin spool here in position number 1. Gin spool. We got a spring. Looks like we got a gin spool in number 2. Make sure that's on camera. Okay, there's gin spool number 3. I'm going to go out the back. No, I'm not. We're going to have to do this the hard way. Oh, wait, yes, I can. We're going to remove this guy. Oh, I lied. I glued that on, didn't I? Huh. Okay, well, let's replace this back end here. Okay, so this is the back end. So let's go to pin number 5. Pin number 5 appears to be standard. And then pin number 4 is another gin spool. Oh, that just went spewing across my desk. So number 4 was that gin spool. I'll get it. It's no big deal. It's not like I'm doing this for a belt or anything like that. And I found it. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in here and see if we can get a better look as to what's going on with this lock. All right. So if we're looking at pin stack number 1, we do have counter milling here. Let me see if I can get a flashlight on this guy. I don't know if this will actually help. But we do have counter milling there. Oh, it's not blurry. It's blurry. I'm sorry. I remember what I have to do. I have to zoom in like this. There we go. There we go. So you guys see that counter milling there? That's so those gin spools can catch onto those pin stacks. So pin stack number 1, counter milled, counter milled, counter milled, counter milled, and that's why we have a standard pin here in slot number 5. Typically, this lock should put up a really good fight. Gin spools are not easy, and I believe this is just a purple belt lock because there's only 4 out of 5. Also, what makes it a purple belt lock is that this thing is sleeved. So this is a sleeve on the outside of my plug here. See this sleeve here? For some reason, I don't know what makes it easier to pick, but these sleeves are easier to pick than non-sleeved. So a non-sleeved with the same pin configuration, to my understanding, I believe is a higher level. I'm sure somebody in the comments can correct me on that, but these sleeved ones, for some reason, they're just easier to pick. And you guys saw me, I picked this thing super easy. So I still stand by how I was able to pick this thing. By just inserting my pick into this, I was able to just inadvertently set everything here. Perhaps this sleeve just causes a much larger separation between the key pin and a driver pin, you know, almost like having tapered pins. I don't know, man. I'm sure somebody can help me there, but that's the these are the pins that were inside this guy. And as you can see, it's just a staircase going from low to high here, and then we have our gin spools, and then we have that standard pin. That's it, folks. I wish all of you would have as good of luck as I did on this particular lock, but I got to tell you, I have 350 locks in my collection, and not all of them are this easy to pick. I will definitely say that much. So I got lucky here. I did get lucky. This is going to be one of those community locks where I'll be sending this out to friends so they can have a crack at it. So that being said, that's all I have for today, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. The tools I used for this were all Covert Instruments tools, except for my gutting wrench here. And that's it. I'll catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream.